Stop scrolling, my dear souls. Stop everything right now. Do not move. Do not scroll. Do not doubt why you are here. Chosen one, if your heart just tightened, if your breath changed even a little, this message is for you. This is not random. This is not coincidence. Heaven does not interrupt without reason. Heaven does not shout unless the moment is urgent. And right now, chosen one, heaven has issued an emergency lockdown for you. Something unseen is happening around your life. Something serious. Something powerful. Something that could not wait another second. That is why you are stopped right here, right now, at this exact moment. Heaven reached through the noise, through the chaos, through the scrolling, through the distractions, just to reach you. Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not fear. This is protection. This is not punishment. This is divine intervention. There are forces you cannot see that have been watching your next move. Some meant well. Some did not. Some smiled to your face while planning against your future. Some prayed you would quit. Some waited for you to step out at the wrong time. And heaven saw it all before you ever did. So heaven said, enough. Chosen one, the lockdown you are feeling is not physical. It is spiritual. It is emotional. It is divine. Heaven has temporarily closed doors, delayed messages, silenced certain people, slowed your steps, and made you feel uncomfortable on purpose. Not to harm you, but to save you. You may have felt stuck. You may have felt isolated. You may have felt confused. You may have felt like everything suddenly paused. Chosen one, that pause is not rejection. That pause is rescue. Heaven locked things down because if you had kept moving at the speed you wanted, if you had trusted the wrong voice one more time, if you had said yes too soon, you would have walked straight into something that was not meant to touch your destiny. And heaven refuses to let that happen. Chosen one, there is a reason plans suddenly fell apart. There is a reason conversations ended abruptly. There is a reason your energy shifted. There is a reason you felt pulled away from places you once felt comfortable in. There is a reason sleep has been strange. There is a reason your spirit has been restless. This is an emergency lockdown. Not because you are weak, but because you are valuable. Heaven does not protect what is ordinary. Heaven protects what carries purpose. Heaven protects what holds light. Heaven protects what the enemy fears losing control over. Chosen one, your future is closer than you think. And because of that, resistance increased. Pressure increased. Confusion increased. But heaven stepped in before the damage could be done. You were about to outgrow a situation that benefited others more than it benefited you. You were about to see a truth that would change everything. You were about to step into a version of yourself that cannot be controlled. And that triggered a reaction in the spiritual realm. So heaven said, lock it down. Chosen one, hear this slowly. You are not being hidden because you are failing. You are being hidden because you are becoming dangerous to darkness. That is why you feel like everything slowed. That is why you feel like you are being told to wait, even when your mind screams to move. That is why your heart feels heavy but hopeful at the same time. That is why you are being pulled into silence. Silence is not empty. Silence is where heaven speaks loudest. Chosen one, heaven is rearranging things while you rest. Heaven is moving people out of position. Heaven is exposing intentions without you needing to confront anyone. Heaven is closing access to you that no longer deserves your energy. Some people will not understand why they can no longer reach you. Some will feel confused about why you changed. Some will feel offended by your boundaries. But chosen one, this lockdown is not about their comfort. It is about your calling. If heaven did not step in now, you would have kept giving when it was time to receive. You would have kept explaining when it was time to observe. You would have kept shrinking when it was time to rise. So heaven stopped everything. Chosen one, breathe. You are safe right now. Even if it doesn't feel like it. The discomfort you feel is not danger. It is transition. It is the feeling of old skin cracking while new strength forms underneath. It is the feeling of change loosening. It is the feeling of control leaving places it never belonged. You are not losing anything that matters. You are being spared from what would have hurt you later. Heaven saw conversations you did not hear. Heaven saw motives you did not suspect. Heaven saw outcomes you could not imagine. And heaven chose you. That is why you are being asked to slow down. That is why patience feels forced right now. That is why distractions are falling away. That is why solitude keeps calling you. Chosen one, do not fight the lockdown. Do not panic. Do not rush to reopen doors heaven closed. What heaven seals, no human can reopen without consequences. Right now, your only assignment is to stay still enough to hear. Stay humble enough to trust. Stay grounded enough to wait. Do not explain yourself during this season. Do not force outcomes. Do not beg doors to open. Rest in the lockdown. Because when heaven sounds the all clear, nothing meant for you will miss you. Nothing prepared for you will be delayed. Nothing aligned with your destiny will fail. Chosen one, this emergency was not sent to scare you. It was sent to save you. Stay here. Stay present. Stay listening. Heaven is not done speaking. Chosen one, stay with me. Do not let your mind wander. Do not let doubt interrupt this moment. Because right now, heaven is still speaking. There is something very important you must understand. This lockdown did not happen by accident, and it did not come late. It came at the exact second it needed to. Even if you feel confused. Even if you feel emotional. Even if you feel tired. Chosen one, heaven saw how much pressure you were carrying silently. Heaven saw how often you smiled while breaking inside. Heaven saw how you kept going even when your soul was begging for rest. Heaven saw how you kept trusting when others kept taking. And heaven said, that is enough now. This lockdown is heaven stepping between you and what was draining you. It is heaven saying, you have carried enough. You have given enough. You have endured enough. Chosen one, you were never meant to survive on survival mode forever. You were meant to live, to breathe, to expand, to receive. But you were surrounded by noise. Too many voices. Too many opinions. Too many expectations. Too many people pulling at you from every direction. So heaven shut the doors. That is why some messages stopped coming. That is why some plans suddenly collapsed. That is why some people drifted away without explanation. Chosen one, nothing valuable was lost. Only illusions were removed. You may feel lonely right now, but you are not alone. Heaven is closer to you now than ever before. When the world gets quiet, heaven gets loud. When people step back, divine presence steps forward. This lockdown is sacred. It is a womb season. A preparation season. A rebuilding season. You are being rewired from the inside. Your thoughts are being refined. Your heart is being softened and strengthened at the same time. Chosen one, this is where discernment is born. You will no longer need proof to know when something is wrong. You will no longer ignore red flags just to keep peace. You will no longer betray yourself to keep others comfortable. That is what heaven is protecting right now, your discernment. Because once you see clearly, you cannot be controlled anymore. There were people who benefited from your confusion. There were situations that thrived because you doubted yourself. There were doors that stayed open only because you were afraid to close them. But that version of you is ending. Chosen one, heaven is not asking you to fight right now. Heaven is asking you to trust. Trust the silence. Trust the pause. Trust the discomfort. The pain you feel is not loss, it is release. Let go without guilt. Rest without apology. Wait without fear. You are not wasting time. Heaven is working overtime on your behalf. Behind the scenes, things are shifting fast. Conversations are happening you cannot hear. Decisions are being made you did not ask for, but they are being made in your favor. Paths are being cleared. Traps are being dismantled. Delays are being turned into protection. Chosen one, if heaven did not value you, it would not interrupt you like this. Emergency messages are not sent for small matters. You carry something rare. You carry light. You carry influence. Even when you feel ordinary, your presence shifts atmospheres. Your words carry weight. Your obedience scares darkness. That is why resistance increased. That is why distractions multiplied. That is why exhaustion tried to take over. But heaven stepped in before it could consume you. Chosen one, do not rush back into noise when the lockdown lifts. Move differently. Speak less. Observe more. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. You are entering a season where access to you will be limited. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Not everyone should know your plans. Not everyone should hear your dreams. Silence will be your shield. And peace will be your confirmation. Chosen one, you will soon feel clarity return. Not all at once, but gently. You will wake up one day and realize the heaviness is gone. The confusion has lifted. The fear no longer controls you. And you will know, the lockdown worked. What was meant to harm you missed you. What was meant to delay you redirected you. What was meant to break you refined you. Stay patient just a little longer. Stay obedient just a little longer. Stay still just a little longer. Heaven is finishing something important. Chosen one, you were never forgotten. You were never ignored. You were never abandoned. You were protected. And when this season passes, you will walk forward stronger, wiser, and unshakable, knowing that when heaven tells you to stop, it is only because something greater is being prepared for you. Stay listening, chosen one. Heaven is still with you. Chosen one, breathe with me for a moment. Slow your thoughts. Let your heart settle. Because what heaven is doing right now goes deeper than you realize. This lockdown is not only around you, it is within you. Old reactions are being shut down. Old patterns are being blocked. Old wounds are being sealed. You are being protected from reacting the way you used to react. You are being guarded from choosing what once felt familiar but was never healthy. Chosen one, heaven is changing your reflexes. There were moments in the past when you would chase answers, chase people, chase closure, chase validation. But now you feel tired of chasing. That is not weakness. That is wisdom being born. Heaven is teaching you to let things reveal themselves without force. That is why silence feels louder. That is why waiting feels heavier. That is why you feel detached from drama you once would have engaged in. You are growing out of survival mode. Chosen one, some doors had to close quietly because if they closed loudly, you would have gone back to reopen them. So heaven closed them gently, slowly, without chaos, until one day you looked around and realized you were no longer standing in the same place. That is divine mercy. You are being spared from repeating lessons you already paid for with pain. This lockdown is heaven saying, you don't need to prove anything anymore. You don't need to convince. You don't need to explain. You don't need to defend your heart. What belongs to you will recognize you without effort. Chosen one, there is a new level of peace coming, but it requires this separation first. Peace cannot live where constant access exists. Peace cannot grow where boundaries are ignored. So heaven taught you boundaries the only way some souls learn them, by removing what crosses them. Do not grieve what left. Do not romanticize what hurt you. Do not reopen doors that heaven closed with love. This lockdown is not empty, it is full of preparation. Your spirit is being strengthened to hold what you asked for. Because the blessings coming next are heavy. They require maturity. They require discernment. They require stability. Heaven is not punishing you with waiting. Heaven is preparing you for arrival. Chosen one, the delay saved you. The pause healed you. The silence aligned you. Soon, movement will return, but not the chaotic kind. It will be intentional, peaceful, certain. You will move without fear. You will choose without guilt. You will walk away without regret. And you will look back at this moment and realize, this lockdown was the moment everything changed. Stay still a little longer, chosen one. Heaven is almost finished, chosen one. This is the final moment of this message, but not the end of what heaven is doing in your life. Listen very carefully now. The reason this message feels heavy, the reason your chest feels full, the reason your spirit feels alert, is because heaven wanted to make sure you understood. Not just heard, but understood. This lockdown was necessary. There are things you will never know that heaven saved you from. Conversations that never reach you. Situations that never touched you. Decisions that were overturned before they ever became reality. And you don't need to know the details, because peace is the proof. Chosen one, when heaven protects you, it doesn't always explain itself. It simply moves. What feels like delay now will soon feel like mercy. What feels like isolation now will soon feel like safety. What feels like stillness now will soon feel like strength. You were not meant to fight this season. You were meant to rest through it. This is the last reminder heaven wants to leave on your heart today. Do not rush when the lockdown lifts. Do not go back to what drained you. Do not reopen doors just because you miss familiarity. You are not the same soul who entered this pause. You are wiser. You are calmer. You are more aware. You are protected in ways you cannot see. Chosen one, trust what feels peaceful. Trust what does not require force. Trust what aligns with your spirit instead of your fear. Heaven did not stop you to punish you. Heaven stopped you to preserve you. And now, you are safe. You are covered. You are watched over. When you move again, it will be with clarity. When you speak again, it will be with authority. When you choose again, it will be without regret. Chosen one, heaven has you. Always has. Always will. Stay blessed. Stay aware. Stay listening.